engulf the whole world in darkness, and I'd have a third of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of a serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And the old I would teach to pray after me, Our Father, which art in Washington. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd threaten TV with dirtier movies and vice versa. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd sell alcohol to ladies and gentlemen of distinction. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flame. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography. Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. And in his own churches, I would substitute psychology for religion and deify science. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd make the symbol of Easter an egg and the symbol of Christmas a bottle. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who wanted until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. And what'll you bet? I couldn't get whole states to promote gambling as the way to get rich. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct. I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. And thus I could undress you in public, and I could lure you into bed with diseases for which there is no cure. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing.
I know we've all seen this video, heard this speech, most of us, but it's never been more relevant. Morning, guys. I'm here today with my guest co-host, Kenton Young.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Always love hanging with Kenton, but guys, this is the trap of the enemy, and it's been heavy on my heart for a few days, and I was like, gosh, should I play this video? Everyone's seen it, but you know what? I think all these years, Paul Harvey wrote that back in 1965. It aired that original broadcast. And here we are, 50, 60 years later, 60-something years later, almost 60 years later. And it's never been more relevant. It's never been more true. And as I was prepping for this morning, we've had all number of opposition to bring you this show. So I know we're shaking things up. We're doing things that the enemy doesn't like. And anytime you're doing that, anytime you're taking back what the enemy has stolen. And I was just having a conversation with my mother last night about taking back some things that the enemy has stolen. See, our God is a God of restoration.
Yes.
And Kenton, you and I spoke about that this morning, brother.
Yep.
Right. And our God is a God of restoration. And whether it's been one day, 1 year, or 20 years, God can restore what the enemy has stolen. So I want to encourage you guys this morning, as you're out there listening, watching, whatever it is that you feel like, man, the enemy's gaining some territory. The enemy's taking things from my life. Don't fear. don't be discouraged, because that's just a sign that you're doing the things that God has called you to do.
Yep.
And I feel like I've been in this mode for a while, Kenton, but I'm angry. I'm angry at Satan because he's got the blindfolds on so many people across our country. And something you and I discussed this morning was we played the quiet game for far too long.
Yep.
As not necessarily 511 or Mike and Kenton. I'm talking about Christians in general. And we had an amazing message yesterday at my church. If you guys want to go check it out, get an opportunity to go check it out at vbf.org. And that's exactly what the pastor spoke about. It's time that we use the instruments, the giftings that God's given us to advance his kingdom. No longer retreating, but advancing forward, pushing forward, because the time is getting shorter every day. And yeah, we talk a lot about political stuff on this show. We talk a lot about politics. We know that there are things going on that we don't agree with, but it's not just about red versus blue, left versus right, conservative versus liberal, Republican versus Democrat. It's about good versus evil. And that's what the real fight is about. The Bible says that our war is not against flesh and blood, but against demons and rulers and principalities. So when you're doing things for the Lord, you will be attacked. You will face opposition.
Yeah.
We need to be girded up. We need to put on the full armor of God, as it says in the Bible. Put on the full armor of God. The helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the sword. Sword is the Bible, the word, God's word. And not just the printed word, but the rhema that he speaks to us, each one of us individually.
Yes.
So don't neglect your time with the Lord, because that is more effective than your time spent plotting and figuring out things to do. You can accomplish more in 5 minutes of prayer than you accomplish in an hour of planning. Kenton, those are words that are on my heart, but I know you agree with those things. Those are the conversations we've had, brother, this morning, and many times we've had similar conversations.
Absolutely. I have my freedom water here. Freedom, I couldn't agree with you even more. So in the midst of everything that's going on, there are trials and tribulations that are taking place. There's opposition, and of course, before the airplane goes up in the air, it comes against the opposition. But then when you have the opposition come against you, that means elevation is going to take place. And so, of course, the enemy's upset because we're tapping into the media waves, but we're proclaiming the good news, and we're waking people up with the truth. And people need to hear the truth. And we get to sit at the mountaintop, and we get to shout it from the hilltops. Number one, that Jesus is Lord. Number two, that people got to wake up because He's coming back soon. The Bible says that tomorrow is not promised to us, and we have to be ready. And so we're the ones out there sounding the alarm and telling people, hey, they wake up. He's coming back soon. And you're absolutely right. It's not about the left against the right and all this, but it's about evil versus good. And the enemy wants to try to consume our souls. He's after our minds. So anything he can do to take our minds and keep us entrapped and keep us focused on all the things that really don't matter. That's what he's really after. He wants our minds. And when with control, if you control the mind, then you can control the entire body. But when I read my Bible, it says at the very end that we win. We win. We are victors. One of the things in Blexit, they talk about the time, we are not victims, but we are victors. And our people, we have to make sure that we keep that mentality, that mindset that we are winners. We're not losers. We are winners. And we will not stop. We will keep pressing. As Paul says, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling, which is in Christ Jesus. We press. And in the midst of the pressing, God blesses that. So for those that are going to be listening to us and watching this broadcast and stuff like that, don't stop. Do not stop. Keep pressing. because guess what? We win. We win. And hearing some of the things you were talking about earlier this morning is that the enemy tries to steal time from us, and there's certain things he's taken from us, and but I believe that this is as you said earlier, this is a time of restoration. Restoration is happening everywhere, and of course, while in the midst of you know restoration taking place, let me go ahead and throw this into the and try to throw things off. Ah, yeah. Oh, you see, you got family members coming back, and all these. Okay, let me throw that in there. Let me try to just cause a little distraction, disruption. No, no, I'll stay focused. I'll stay focused. I'll stay focused because we win. We win.
Yeah. Amen. So, guys, quick introduction for Kenton here. Kenton Young is the state director for Blexit in Florida. And Kenton's a member of the 511 Media Extended family. He's going to be doing a podcast with our lovely Renata Da Silva coming up very, very soon in the next couple months. We're going to be releasing that, so we'll let you guys know more about those details when they come. But Kenton is a valued and loved member of our team, extended team. And Kenton, the thing is, there's some of the things I was thinking about this morning. Too many Christians have been lulled to sleep with the idea that somehow being involved in politics, because they're like, well, where does Christianity and politics, come together? They should be separate, and that's not the calling. God, yes, our home is not here. We shouldn't be surprised by these things that are going on. But while we're here, we're also called to make a difference. Now, we got to do that in love, of course, but the Bible never says to stay silent. The Bible never says to stay out of politics. And we've been deceived and tricked into thinking that. But we've been spending too much time just trying to be nice, trying to play patty cake. And due to this is one of the reasons we've lost territory. We've lost territory for the kingdom. Jesus never called us to be nice. Jesus never called us to placate. Jesus called us to call out the evil. And we see people that say that they're Christian, and yet their life says something different. And I can't remember. I think I was talking to my wife this morning, and we were talking about, and it might have been yesterday, but we were talking about, I don't understand how you can be Christian and be a Democrat, be Christian and be a liberal, be Christian and vote for Kamala. And yes, the eternity is bigger than that. But we also have the future of our country, the future of our children, and those are the things we're fighting for. So it's time to stand up, take a stand, and as I said earlier, take back what the enemy has stolen.
Absolutely. The fight for our country is, I mean, it's inevitable. Of course, this has been happening for years. This is since the beginning of time, when the enemy decided in the very beginning to take advantage of Eve in the garden, and it sent into the world. The enemy's been all this time been trying to work through the different agents to get us off focus from accomplishing the mission that God has given us. Because ultimately, we originally were created to serve the King. Period. We were originally created to serve the King, and so the enemy has always been after trying to take over that spot and be the God in our lives. I mean, yes, there's opposition that's happening right now, in the midst of everything that's going on in our country. And I mean, you got Democrats, and it really comes down to the policies that are being pushed by this wicked agenda. Craziness. Unbelievable. I mean, my goodness. I mean, this is totally like, you know, you got the same-sex marriage. You got people that are confused about their gender between their whether they're a woman or a man, and of course, God is not the author of confusion. He doesn't confuse at all. There's confusion when He made us male or female. Period. There's no confusion, you know, and so in the midst of that confusion, people get confused, and because they don't know the truth, they're lost. They're lost, and they're trying to decipher, what's right, what's wrong, and woe to those who call what's evil good, and then what's good evil. And that's how how a lot of people have lost their ways. But of course, that's why we have broadcasts like this that's going out, that's sharing the truth and sharing the information that's going to, help people wake up, whether they like it or not. I received a message from someone not too long ago, and they basically told me in a nutshell, you better shut up and get out of that foolishness. I was like, I said, man, it's too late. When you come into the knowledge of the truth, you don't, you cannot go back. I can't do it. And then you also talked about the government in politics. We should not get involved in government politics, the separation of church and state and all that. You can't separate individuals. You are who you are. Let me go ahead and divide Kenton in two. Kenton, the church Kenton, sit over here, and then the political Kenton over here. Let's separate the two. You can't do that. You know, and it even brings you to the scripture where it says, "For unto us a child is born, for unto us the son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders." Come on now. So the government was on the Lord's shoulders. So we have to be involved. We have to be involved. We are the light. We are the lights we are the agents that are carrying out the good news and sharing truth. And people, they have to wake up. They have to wake up. And we
That's
will
right.
sound the alarm, and we'll be relentless, and we won't stop.
So, guys, if you're out there watching, if you're watching or listening, the mission we're on. We preach about it basically every day, and if you believe in that mission, you believe in taking back territory from the enemy, please help us to further that mission by liking our content, following, subscribing, sharing, and also commenting, because your comments, we get to receive those live here in the studio. I can see that. I don't know if you can see it, Kenton, on your side. I think you can.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
And we do respond to y'all's comments. So want to encourage you guys to do that, because that also helps, and we like the interaction. Also, real quick, as we get into our show, I'm wearing some of our 511 Media merch today. Brave, Hate is Corn, Patriot shirts. And go ahead and bring it up, Darius. Here's a better image of that. And then we got the back of that too. And it says, "In the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man, and brave and hated and scorned. When his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot." So these are words from Mark Twain. It says Mark Twain there at the bottom. But this is something that our team made up. And we have more merch over on our website. You can go to 511media.co.co, not .com, 511media.co/shop, and check out what we got put together for you guys over there. But guys, we're about to get into our show here, but before we do, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Covenant Coffee, covenantcoffee.org. Open a cup. These guys are being the hands of Jesus in Bakersfield, California, in Kern County, and they're also available online at covenantcoffee.org. Go check them out if you're in Bakersfield, across the street from us at Mohawk, California, or on North Chester, or go check them out online. They have K-Cups. They ship U.S. worldwide. So whatever your coffee needs or desires are, they got you covered. And couple events I want to let y'all know about. Number one is something that both Kenton and I will be at in December.
Yes.
And it's kind of the follow-up to the one we just came from, right, Kenton?
Yep.
If we got that video, guys, if we could play that, the America Fest.
presence here at the largest multi-day event in conservative grassroots history. Is a message that will be heard by these people. Phoenix, Arizona, people from all over the country.
It's remarkable because it brings everybody
One of
together.
my favorite of the year.
Energy that the leftists want you to feel. Stakes are high. We have only begun to fight.
December 19th through the 22nd, Phoenix, Arizona. You guys be there. If you guys get out and do what you're supposed to do and not just vote, because I know all of you guys vote, bring others with you to vote.
Yes.
Encourage others. Get the word out. Those low propensity voters in your life, push them to the polls. We need this election to be too big to rig. As long as we do that, we do the things that we need to do. This is going to be a big old party, big old celebration for conservative politics, but even more so for Jesus, because whether you like the man or not, Donald Trump is representing the values that we believe in.
Correct.
Regardless of what you think about him personally, sometimes it takes someone who you don't like to do the things that you need or that need to be done. So, guys, get out there. And then the second event I want to let y'all know about, Kenton, I don't know if this is something you'll be at. It's not necessarily in your territory, but it's a Blexit event, the Night of Faith in Philly. I know you've been knowing about the Night of Faith. So can you tell our people about the Night of Faith? And we don't have Jarrett here. Jarrett usually does this announcement, but he's unable to be here with us today. So I'm gonna let Kenton do this one.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, the Night of Faith is a night of people coming together collectively, like-minded, standing up for truth and righteousness and declaring that Jesus is Lord, and reaching out to the community and really being the hands and feet of Jesus. It's basically bringing the neighborhood and the community together to proclaim Jesus and to get the good news of the kingdom out. It's going to be an incredible night. I actually will try to be there in Philly. Hopefully, as long as my wife approves of it, I will be there. But it's incredible. It's an incredible time to connect with like-minded individuals that are in the fight together to fight as we fight for our country, as you stand for truth and righteousness. It's a great evening to be inspired and also be equipped with more information and stuff which you can do locally in your community to take back your not only your county, your city, but your state, and even eventually the entire nation. So it's an incredible time. For those of you that are in the that area, you want to sign up, get there. Don't miss the event. It's going to be incredible. Keywords: Night of Faith. Keywords: Night of Faith. So come out. And then for those of you that may be on the fence, they're like, should I come or should I not do it? And come. Get there.
Yeah. And I wanna take a minute because we've had some, and I'm sure you have, especially more than I have, Kenton, but I have it too. Had some people come and say, oh, what's Blexit about? Oh, that's just for the Black community, right? And Kenton, you know the talking points on this more than I do, but I know that it's not just for the Black community. That's just the name of the group, right?
Correct. Yeah, so Blexit, it's amazing. I like to always tie my own little story in, and as I lead the chapter here in the state of Florida, I'm continuing to learn more and more on how to communicate to people what Blexit is. Blexit is basically people think BL, like this thing of Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Like, it's not. It's basically people exiting a certain mindset. They're leaving the mindset of a victim and becoming into a victor. You exit out of this mindset and you go into the right one. And so as I lead the people here in Florida, I'm always telling them to listen, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. And so Blexit just its pillars are on proclaiming, protecting the nuclear family, proclaiming faith, And also standing up for our country, our rights as individuals. They're big on teaching entrepreneurship, education. Big thing about education because you have a lot of people out there right now that are miseducating people and misinforming people, and really and truly. It comes down to getting people activated to work in the gift that God's called them to work in their particular area, and and really getting you to stand up for what is right in your area, and take territory, take territory, take over your region, with what's right. So faith, family, freedom. We're fighting for it, and this is all walks of life. It isn't black, white, Hispanic. Doesn't matter whatever culture you are. Doesn't really matter. Everybody is welcome to join because it's definitely multicultural. You have everybody, but the thing that's amazing is that everybody's on the same page. Everybody is all working together with one mission in mind: protect the family, standing up for our faith, declaring freedom, and fighting for our country. And then of course encouraging all the different things. We back the blue. What's one thing? We back the blue. We standing up for law and order. You got to have that. You got to have law and order in your country. So for those that wherever you are across the nation, get connected to a local chapter, and plug in, and elevate your voice and your talent, use your talent to build uh, in your area and get the news out about Blexit. And of course, and also we're part of TPUSA. Shout out to all the leaders that lead this great organization, Pierre and all of them. God bless these leaders, and Charlie Kirk, TPUSA. God bless all of them. Candace Owens and um, Brandon Tatum, all of them. What a blessing it is to be a part of this amazing organization.
Amen. So, guys, go check out the event if you get a chance. We gave you some information about it, but guys, as we're talking about the fight that we're in the middle of the fight. There's one man who comes to mind as we make that fight, and we got a new video to share with you for that.
Left the building.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. Donald Trump wins the presidency. What started off as unlikely, impossible, is now reality.
I will fight for you with every breath in my body, and I will never, ever let you down.
We have a president who actually fulfilled the promises he made during the campaign, securing the border to foreign policy.
She now has a record as president. It's pretty damn impressive. Breaking news out of Palm Beach,
The FBI has executed an unprecedented search warrant at President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate.
The president has both sides of the political aisle up
is
in
a
arms.
dangerous and unstable moment in American history.
The Justice Department has just indicted former President Donald Trump.
For 7 years, they hated him, they targeted him, they hunted him.
This is the epitome of the abuse of the prosecutorial power to preempt political decisions.
I never thought anything like this could happen in America. The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving. On November 5th, 2024, justice will be done. We will take back our country, and we will make America great again. America will always rise to every challenge and overcome every danger.
Donald Trump seems to always get stronger when challenged. These types of things, I think, give him strength.
When I'm reelected, I will totally obliterate the deep state. As long as we have pride in our beliefs, courage in our convictions, and faith in our God, then we will not fail.
You know,
Man.
Every time. It's powerful, right? You know, it's funny. I was having a conversation, Kenton, with my wife the other day, and I've had this conversation with other people, multiple people, and I think you can relate, and most people that are connected to us, our extended family can relate, our immediate family can relate. But my wife was saying, there are people saying things in the comments, they get mad or whatever on our stuff, and it just. She also asked me, hey, how can you watch the news without getting mad or getting angry? The thing is, there was a time when I was younger where I did get mad or whatever at certain things that I would see, and I still get mad in a way, but not like the way that that some people do. And I said, if somebody in our comments is saying hateful, mean things, that just means we're doing something right. And so in that video, they were talking about, when these things happen, when they persecute and prosecute Trump, it just makes them stronger. And I feel like that is, you guys can say what you want and go ahead in the comments if you disagree with me. Happy to have the conversation. I think when you know that you're on a mission from God, anything that comes against you, all it does is fire you up more, fuel you more to carry that torch forward. And as we're in the middle of a show, that Kenton, how much opposition did we face to bring in this show just this morning? We do this every day, and we get opposition every day, by the way. But how much this morning?
Man, so much stuff, man. You got team members getting attacked, getting in accidents and stuff like that. And you got stuff happening personally with our families and stuff. And man, any and everything that the enemy can try to do to try to discourage us from being able to get on the air and bring truth and awareness to everybody. The enemy's gonna try to do that. And of course, I mean, the enemy's job is his job description is very simple. It's the Bible says that the enemy's job is to kill, steal, and destroy. That's literally what his job description is.
Yeah.
But of course, Jesus says, I come that you might have life and that more abundantly. So that's his job. So he's always trying to kill, he's always trying to steal, and he's always trying to destroy. So that's not common news to us. But in the midst of that, his whole goal is to stop us from don't go on the show today. You don't know what you're going to talk about today. You don't know how things would work. All of a sudden your team member got attacked. This person got in an accident. But no, we won't stop. We're not going to stop. This is not going to stop us from being able to accomplish what God has called us to do. And then in the midst of that, keep on plugging. It just builds that fight in you. It builds up your the stamina. Just from a person that exercise and work out, you're gonna keep on even when you don't feel like doing it. Because Bible says we walk by faith, not by sight. And a lot of times we don't feel like doing the things that we need to be doing. But in the meantime, you're like, no, I'm committed. This is that, we're both married men, we're committed to our wives, and it hasn't always been, and just nice and beautiful all the time and all this stuff. No, but we made a commitment. We have a job to do, and we're going to stick to it. And we're going to get it done. Period.
That's right. So I don't know if you've seen the news, Kenton, this morning. There's what's crazy is like they kind of make our job easy right now because there's so much going on that we don't lack for a topic or a subject or things to talk about. So but did you see this morning the whole thing with if y'all remember 2 years ago, almost to the day, by the way, 2 years ago, when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago? Did y'all see that Trump is now suing the DOJ?
What? Oh
yeah.
My! Wow! That needs to happen. That needs to happen.
Have that headline? It's not a video, guys. It's just a headline. Go ahead and bring it up if we have something. If not, that's all right. We'll keep moving. We'll keep on trucking. Guys, Trump is suing DOJ because the DOJ and the FBI and all of the alphabet soup agencies in the U.S. have been weaponized against their political enemy. which is the very thing that the left has been accusing Trump is going to do. So we can't elect him because he's going to do all these things that they're doing. And they're saying, we're not doing them, but he's going to. And, don't elect him because he's going to do the things that we're doing that we're pretending like we're not doing.
All of that is pure madness. And a lot of it is actually strictly for distraction. So what the enemy tries to do in the midst of everything that's going on is cause a lot of riffraff and distraction and get you to focus on things that are going over here while he's in the background sowing his seeds of discord and planting seeds of doubt and all this other foolishness. But now in the midst of that, and he expects, of course he's going to expect, President Donald Trump, just sit down and just be quiet. Don't say nothing else. No, and no, absolutely, of course, that's not him. And by the way, all the stuff that you just mentioned about, hey, all the stuff that you're doing over here and over there, we're gonna stop it. We're gonna stop it because this needs to be going on. And wait a minute, what you're doing is wrong and needs to be corrected by the right. So that's why, you got to be sued. You got to be sued. And that brings it, this brings a statement. And I even the other thing too, also that was quite interesting when I was looking at the other day is that, if people will see, if you see that all these people are attacking President Trump the way that they're attacking him, I mean, to the mere fact that you put him on a case to where now he's got multiple felonies and counts and stuff like that, and we're gonna throw you in jail. All these different things, right? They're trying to assassinate you, trying to kill you and stuff. What makes you think that the enemy won't come after you like that?
Yeah.
So, what makes you think that the enemy won't come after you? And one of the things the Bible talks about is that's not being cowards. We cannot be a coward. We have to be courageous, bold. And so a lot of people they're seeing everything that's happened that's being attacked at President Trump, and they're cowering down, like they're backing up. Like, okay, man, I don't want that to be me. I don't want to be sued. But then you have those that are like, boom, standing up. No, I'm gonna stand up. This is a matter of time. And a lot of people ask me, Kenton, why are you doing what you're doing? And Mike, why are you doing what you're doing? Man, I have a wife and I got kids. I got children, and I don't just have my own children. There's other children now around here, and there's other family members that if we don't stand up and do our part, and if we don't stand up and speak out against what is going on in this country, and stand for truth and righteousness, and proclaim the good news of the kingdom, and tell people about Jesus. I mean, I don't want to stand before the king myself and say, Kenton, you didn't do what you could have done, because they kept attacking, you and all this other stuff. Now, can't do it, because at the end of the day, when you stand before the king, it's just going to be you and the king. What did you do? What did you do?
Yeah. And media team, you don't have this video, so don't panic. But did you see, Kenton, the what Greg Gutfeld had to say about Trump? And you may or may not have, but as I do my prep every single day on this show, and I'm constantly on social media because that's basically become my job now. He was talking about Trump, and people are expecting him to be a politician, expecting him to be refined and stay on script and everything else. But the thing is, politicians can spend an hour saying absolutely nothing, but Trump never had that training. So he's going and actually addressing issues and talking about things that people care about, and he ain't afraid to go on camera like Kamala is. So we got the Trump camp, who's basically in front of media, and he goes to places that are openly and actively hostile towards him. He got grilled on, I don't know what the show was, but you've seen it, Kenton, the with the black
Oh, talking about
interviewer.
the sister. Yeah. The sister. She. Boy, that is oof. That was that was nasty. That was nasty behavior. That come on now. I mean, this just straight nasty. You ask the question, and then the way you ask the question is just very disrespectful. Come on now. That's just human nature, and that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I'm noticing. Whether you're black or white or whatever it is, that they just they hate the man. And let me just say this right quick. I don't hate Kamala Harris. Okay, I don't hate Walls or whatever. Because if I hate them, then Jesus is not in my heart.
Right.
So in the meantime, though, now are they being involved with the enemy and being influenced by the enemy to do the wrong things? Oh yes, in a big way. Okay, and I don't agree with that. And the Bible does say that how can two walk together unless they agree? And so I don't agree with you, so we ain't walking together. And but that conversation that that young lady had with President Trump, that was just messed up, man. That was just a bunch of foolishness.
And I got a few clips to play for you. So we're gonna play some clips back to back. I'm gonna play the clip. First of all, JD Vance in an interview, because Trump and Vance aren't afraid to go on camera. Let's see this clip of Vance.
I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks about the fact that she supported policies that open the American southern border. I wonder what Kamala Harris thinks about the fact that she lied to the American people about Joe Biden's middle facility for the office. You are interviewing me, Dana, because I respect the American people enough to sit down for an interview.
I appreciate that.
Kamala Harris has been the nominee for 3 weeks. She hasn't sat down for a real interview.
Believe me, we are asking. You're not going to get a disagreement there.
But the point is, Dana, you've got me for 15 minutes or however long you have me. We should be talking about public policies that matter. How are we going to lower inflation? How are we going to reduce the cost of food and housing? How are we going to close down that southern border? We've talked so little about that. We've talked a lot more about a sarcastic remark I made 3 years ago. I think we should talk about the issues that most Americans care about.
All right, so that's an interview JD Vance did since he's become vice president. I'm sure he's done others. Now let's see the one that the interview Kamala did since she's become president. We got the media team in the back scrambling, trying to figure this out. Guess what, guys? It doesn't exist. They're not going to find it. What about the one Tampon Tim did? We got that one? No, it doesn't exist. Okay, it's all right, guys. It doesn't exist. So we have Trump and Vance openly. That was the Communist News Network, by the way. If you guys were paying attention, openly hostile towards Vance, openly hostile towards Trump. Not afraid to go in front of them. They won't even go in front of their own people. They got AI out there trying to pretend like they got crowds at their rallies. They ain't got nobody. I saw more people in church on Sunday than was at any of Kamala's rallies. Yeah, and they might come out for a concert. They might bust in some homeless people. They might try to trick you with some fake AI photos, but there ain't nobody supporting these people. So when the fake news media, and guess what, y'all are gonna maybe get mad at me for this one. Fox is part of that too. When the fake news media tries to gaslight you and say that all this momentum is going for Kamala, they're doing one or two of a couple things here. Number one is they are trying to discourage people from going out and voting. They're trying to discourage people in the conservative areas, conservative counties, from voting because we're not going to win anyway. Number two is, and y'all aren't going to like this one either, they're setting up for the steal, because you think they didn't steal in 2020? In fact, there's been multiple whistleblowers have come forward. Go ahead and bring it up. Multiple whistleblowers, that have come forward from Dominion that have said, I worked for them. I know for a fact that it was stolen, and now the voting machine companies are coming out and saying, yeah, we flip votes and you think that this is just the big story? This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
You think that there's not way more of this going on? Go ahead and take it off, guys. You think that what they're admitting to, they're only admitting to it because it's already out in the open anyway.
Yep.
So they can't deny it. So they're like, oh, let's pretend like we're honest. They ain't honest. They're just coming out with stuff that y'all already know. And if you don't know it, you're not paying attention. I'm sorry, this crap's getting me fired up, but
man, wow. No, absolutely. You know, you know, the one thing is, yes, the thought came to my mind. I said, okay, so the Vice President Kamala Harris is not coming on and doing these interviews. It makes you think, okay, so, we know what we've now reading about her record of what she's done in California. And God bless you, my brother. I know you're out there in that area. And the thing about it is, she's not a dumb. She ain't no dumb person. She's not dumb at all. So
she does a good job playing dumb.
Yeah, she did. And this is statement. Okay, she gets, and then people play into that narrative, and then they're like, okay, well, she's doing stuff, and then. And in the midst of all that, it's like a distraction. Like, okay, no, there's something else going on. There's, let me focus on, because the media, the mainstream, is carrying on this information and sharing this information to keep people distracted from what's really going on. And the bottom line is that what's really going on? What's really going on? And I like the fact that Vance made it very clear and started talking about the policies in that interview. Just took it over, because a lot of times in those conversations, you don't get a word out. They literally just keep badgering you, and it seems like it'd be a common thing that happens all the time. It's like, listen, do you want to hear what I have to really say? Did you brought me on this interview to ask me a few questions? Do you really want to hear what I have to say, or are you going to keep cutting me off and keep telling me about all this other stuff that's really unimportant? Because at the end of the day, we need to discuss the things that are important and versus not the things that are not important. But you're trying to occupy this space and time and make me look like an idiot and get me to say something on the air, and then try to use it against me to put it across all the broadcast media waves and get people confused and not focus on the real thing that's going on. But while I have these few minutes, as Vance was on there, I'm gonna keep bum hitting it, and so that way you can't corner me. We know the strategy.
Yeah, and the thing is, everything they say is a lie. It's funny. Kamala did come out with a policy actually recently. This is the first time she's discussed anything of substance that's a policy. She said she's in favor of eliminating the tax on tips. Guess what? That wasn't her idea. She got that one from Trump. And guess what? She's also lying about it, because she was the deciding vote in that bill passing.
Then the question is, though, Mike, what? She's the vice president,
right?
Why is she doing that now? Why? You are the vice president. Why in the world has that not happened now? I want y'all out there to think about that. Just think. Why in the world has that not happened?
Yeah. Well, you think she's not already running the country? You got Biden in there as a stool pigeon. And the reason, by the way, if you guys have been paying attention to the things I've been saying, I've said this multiple times. The reason that Biden sounds so incoherent and babbling and he doesn't know what he's saying is because they're not his own original thoughts. These are things that are being put there by Obama and Kamala Harris. They are the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. Biden has been there, but if y'all remember back in 2020, his campaign, he was hiding in the basement. Same thing Kamala's doing, by the way, because Obama doesn't want her on camera because he knows she's got some intelligence when it comes to communism, but she doesn't really have a true substance of intelligence. So they got to keep her off camera because they know if she starts running her mouth, some crap is going to come out that they don't want the American public to hear because they know that people are not going to go along with it. So we talk about Biden was, by the way, we've said this before, and y'all know this, but Biden was forced out. This wasn't just a choice of his, and actually he admitted it on camera just the other day in an interview. Do we got that clip, guys?
Polls we had showed that it was the neck and neck race. Would have been down to the wire. But what happened was a number of my Democratic colleagues in the House and Senate thought that I was going to hurt them in the races, and I was concerned if I stayed in the race, that would be the topic. You'd be interviewing me about why did Nancy Pelosi say, why did someone, and I thought it'd be a real distraction, number one. Number two, when I ran the first time, I thought of myself as being a transition president. I can't even say how old I am. It's hard for me to get out of my mouth. And, but things got moving so quickly, it didn't happen. And the combination was that I thought it was a critical issue for me, still is not a joke, maintaining this democracy.
Guys, they clearly forced him out. We all knew that, but we've also been saying for a while now that they don't actually believe they're going to win. This is all about the down ballot votes, and Biden just said it. Biden just said it right there. That's what Kenton. I don't know how much attention you've been paying to the things that we've been saying, but have we said that before?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely. When we saw President Biden start to mumble and forget thoughts and stuff while he's having a debate or speaking on the camera or slipping and falling, and then you hear the comments from individuals saying, well, you know, our president is in great hopes and so on and so forth, and he's doing real good and supportive, and I'm like, okay. In my mind, I'm like, okay, so am I missing something here? Is something off? Did I fall and bump my head? Okay, do y'all see what's going on? And by the way, President Biden's wife, I said, why in the world would you allow your husband to come out here like this? Like that really, I'm like, that is crazy to me. I don't understand that. And one wonders if all of this was all part of the plan to bring in the VP as the one running for office now, which even though he's been in the presidency for the last 4 years, as you stated before earlier, has he really been running the country?
No.
Has he really been running the country? No. You know, so who has been? That's a question. For those of you out there that are watching right now, who's been running the country? I want to know. Y'all put it in the comments. Who do you think is running the country? And everything else has been going on, you know. So it's sad. It's really sad. It's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely. And like as I said, everything they say is a lie, and as you mentioned earlier, I live in the great state of California. Sadly, once great state of California. It's still a beautiful state. You still got some great people.
Yes.
You got in certain parts of the state, not where I live, you have beautiful weather year round. But we have a governor who's trying to gaslight us at the same time. And my wife and I just had a conversation about this the other day. And do we have the clip of Gavin, guys? We can pull up.
As far on the energy topic, I live in Woodland, and I'm actually a customer of Valley Energy. And I can tell you my power bills have not gone down. And I'm curious, when should California see some financial benefit to this transformation to renewable?
Well, I think we have. That wind, the water, and solar has kept prices down. It's the cheapest form of energy right out here. It's technology. It's had a significant impact on what you don't see. Our nation-leading climate policies have also had a significant impact of rebating customers, including $146 just this month that will be going out on average to customers, millions and millions of customers through our cap and trade program to offset their utility costs. Our nation-leading energy efficiency program allows me to lay claim to this fact. It's been PolitiFact. You can check it as well. So the fact that California has lower residential utility bills than states like Texas, states like Florida, and others that tout or mislead you with information that, with respect, is not or should not be in evidence because of the energy efficiency programs in this state.
Thing is, this man right here thinks all of y'all are stupid.
Yes.
He bold-faced lied to you right there. I just had a conversation with one of our team members the other day, and he's like, I was like, what, what's going on, because he was telling me, things are getting a little tighter and everything else. I was like, and I was like, what's the reason? He's like, the electrical bill. Every summer it gets $500, $600, $700, $800. And I've lived in Texas. Kenton, you live in Florida. How high is your electric bill over there?
Man, that electric bill is a couple $100. Man, I remember that electric bill being, in the $98, and now it's like tripled.
But it's still not $700, $800, right?
No, that is crazy right there. That just sound.
And I lived in Texas, right outside of Austin, just a few years ago, and our bill was between $80 and $150, even in the hottest months, even in the cold months. Our bill, so Gavin Newsom, who, by the way, I can almost guarantee you he will be running in 2028. He wasn't going to run in 2024 because he knew it was a losing battle, and he didn't want to commit career suicide like Kamala and Tampon Tim over here. But he's straight out lying to you about the price of electricity, because if you're living in California, you know how high it is. And I just happen to have the experience of living in Texas, but all I'd have to do is make a phone call and ask a friend anyway. So he thinks you're stupid. And the fact is, these guys actually legitimately 100%, I'm not just saying that because I know some insider information that many of you guys don't have access to. They actually do think you're stupid. They legitimately think you're stupid, and that you don't know. They know better than you what you need for your life. So the thing is, when these guys come out and they tell you who they are, just believe them.
Yeah.
We got the clip of Kamala and Tim in the classroom. They're telling us right here who they are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself a sign.
Revolutionary Communists of America. That's where they're proud to take a picture in front of that. That was them straight. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're just coming right out and telling you, hey, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. Why aren't we believing them? Are there actually people in this country? And sadly, the answer is yes, by the way. Are there actually people in this country that want communism to come into America, that think that communism is somehow better than bold, underline this one, not a democracy, a constitutional republic? Are there people that think that communism is better? People, there are. And this is the lie that the left has been trying to indoctrinate into all of us and our children through the education system for decades now. And we finally get to the point where we're buying into the bullcrap. But you ask anybody who's come from a communist country, first of all, why are they coming here if they live in a communist country? Let's think about that for a second. It's not because it's better there. Why would they leave something that's better? And if you ask any of them that have lived over there, they're going to tell you that going to stand with us in as much opposition as they possibly can against those policies.
Yep.
So, guys, I wish we had more time. I remember saying this, Kenton, and I've said this to you, and I've said this to most of our team. When we first started doing this morning show, I was like, an hour, that's a lot to commit to. An hour is a long time. An hour is a lot to talk. I wish we had a longer show, because we can't get through everything that I want to get through in an hour. But
Right.
I want to thank all of you guys who are a loyal part of the 511 Media family. I want to encourage you guys, take advantage of your mail-in ballots. Take people with you to get them registered. Do everything you can so we can make this election too big to rig. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Have a great day. God bless.
God bless.